Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is Daily Trading Analysis with a quick market update for today, Tuesday, 23rd of April. Today, we had economic data starting with building permits for March. Final month over month got minus 3.7, still showing that the building and the home sector continues to cool down lower. So this is a check in the right direction. But the important thing was at 9:45, the S&P Composite PMI, Manufacturing and Services PMI. This is an estimate for April, and look at this cool down of every single one of the readings from 52s, 51s to 50s and 49s. Specifically, these services, it's at 50.9. We were expecting, look at this, 52. And this is why the market's continuing rally into the news. Then at 10, we got new home sales, a little bit of a spike, 8.8% on month over month. But look at this again, good news. Richmond Fed indexes on the manufacturing and services continuing to the downside, negative, and this is another check in the right direction. So apart from that, good economic data, we have a little bit of earnings, starting with we got General Motors and UPS. After the close, we will have Tesla, that is going to be critical for the tech sector. But for now, we got on the UPS side that profit beats estimates despite the weak delivery demand. But the cuts are helping offset that weak demand. So UPS beating profits, General Motors raising 2024 guidance due to earnings beat. So General Motors, it's increasing the guidance while Tesla and other EV stocks are really suffering. So quite interesting there. Now let's jump into the charts to really see how we were so bullish after yesterday's run into the gap close. Remember, that was quite interesting zone. Today, during the overnight, we were consolidating and I was watching this 30-minute inverse fair value gap into this pivot. I couldn't find any setup for that, and I was quite disappointed on the price action because it was certainly quite choppy despite the higher lows and all this building. Look at this liquidity graph. We never got a retest of this. So I was quite disappointed of not getting that entry into the liquidity because we finally into the news, we got the liquidity and then we got the open. So into the open, I had to risk a little bit more than I usually would like to risk. I usually had a risk reward ratio of 1 to 3 and a risk of 300 to 400 bucks per trade. And we got the open here. We were chopping, waiting for the news. I don't like trading into news. I would not have any position into big economic data like the PMI. So we got the news at 9:45. We basically spiked because those were quite good news. And this green candle provided me the opportunity to have a fair value gap. And I would like to have the pullback into the fair value gap and buying the first green candle, making a new high. So I got the pullback, risking 25 points into the base of these. We should not test these lows down here. So I put my stop there in the base of the big green candle. 25 points is 500 bucks. And I was reaching, my target was basically what everyone was watching after this pivot, the next one. And this inverse was the final target if I were to add. I didn't add because the volatility was so high and maybe we were going to reject that and pull back a bit to continue higher. And I didn't want to get chopped out of this trade. So I just basically set up for that trade with a risk reward ratio to 1 to 3, as I was saying. And 79, basically 80 points, it's 15 bucks, 1500 bucks, 1600 bucks, more than enough for a 1 day of basically that's less than an hour. So we continue higher and we were testing the 45 EMA, a little bit of shorts up here, as you can see, trying to pull the market down. But I think once this target was met, the next level, it's quite risky. It's up here on this fair value gap inverse on the 30-minute chart. So we are going to hold up here until Tesla's earnings. Tesla is 2.36. It's also holding at point of control in balance. And we have big names like Nvidia, 3.70% in the green, Meta 3.80. So the market, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, everything is in the green. Dollar and yields are in the red, quite big today. And this is good news because this reading on the PMI and services production manufacturing makes this kind of rejection of 5% on the 2-year yield, and the 10-year yield was also approaching 4.7. That was a scary point. So yields being in the green, in the red, and look at these September interest rate futures also pulling back a bit, perhaps pricing in a little bit of probability of a rate cut on September. But basically, treasuries, high yield corporate bonds, look at this move. This is risk on, guys. So also small caps, 2% today. Look at this trend today. This is unbelievably bullish. So everything is good today, even the breadth. RSP is 1% in the green. The momentum coming into the stocks on the 20-day moving average with 26% of increase of those stocks. So breadth is certainly here. The only thing that is a little bit of a drawback, it's after this big rejection of crude oil, we are finding buyers down here. Look at all these buyers. Look at these people. So these people is basically buying the previous resistance is now support, buying the $81, $82 per barrel. This is the only thing that concerns me a lot in the long term. But I mean, don't get me wrong, we are quite bullish today. The only thing that might be quite a little bit of concern and risky, it's trading into the afternoon with Tesla reporting earnings, and we all know how Tesla is being quite bearish into the daily. A lot of people is just selling Tesla. It's not trusting the Elon Musk. So I wouldn't hold any position into Tesla's earnings today, but certainly it's going to be quite a lot of volatility. But we have our opportunities. Look at this pre-market action and then into the open. It's just buying and buying and buying. And I told you guys, I told you on the NQ that we were just testing good liquidity. We were testing golden pockets on the ES. We were also, look at this beautiful taking liquidity and bounce on the golden pocket. There were also the high yield corporate bonds are pushing, treasuries are bouncing at the golden pocket. The Russell was also bouncing. We were due to a correction and a bounce. Is this going to last? I don't know. But we had 2 days of big volatility and big news now with the PMI on the services may increase the sentiment of the bulls. So if you are trusting, if you are trying to short this market, be really careful. Now for the forecast, apart from the Tesla, we have to see those earnings. Look at this zone. This zone, if Tesla beats earnings today and surprises investors, I think we can certainly move into that direction. That direction is basically 17,740, 760, even 17,800, big psychological level. That would be basically from where we are right now until there would be 0.70 more. It would be 2.3% on the Nasdaq and almost 2% on the ES. It's certainly possible because we are quite vertical today, but it all depends on Tesla. But watch this. If we start seeing good momentum after Tesla, this is certainly a good place to sell your positions for today and call it a day. And for the rest of the week, well, after Tesla, we'll have to see. Why? Because basically we are waiting also for other stocks to report earnings that are quite impactful. Tomorrow, the same thing after the close, Meta, IBM, Ford, And on Thursday, we have Microsoft, Alphabet, Intel. So it's going to be quite interesting week this week. Also on Friday, ExxonMobil, a lot of crude oil, Chevron. So if you missed today's setups, if you didn't trade or you didn't trust the price action, certainly there will be more opportunities. This week, since yesterday and today also, it's been a week for the patients. The patient people is just waiting for good setups and really getting nice rich rewards. And you have to be disciplined to apply that patience. But certainly yesterday with the bounce on the gap, and today after the numbers, good numbers, reacting, having the patience to wait for those numbers and react in a bullish way to those numbers certainly was a nice trade. I could just hold, but my target is my target, my strategy is my strategy. But certainly today we are super bullish. Don't ruin your day, take those profits, don't risk into the close for Tesla. And I think tomorrow we might see, or even today, it depends, we might see certainly on the Nasdaq a little bit of continuation higher. And let's see what happens with Thursdays and tomorrow's Wednesday and Thursday's price action, because these levels are going to be tested for sure, and we have to be patient and react to those earnings. And that's all from my side. As always, thank you for your time. If you found this video useful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, because I upload videos like this one every single day for market forecast, market updates, and market recaps. I appreciate your time as always. Remember that the trading day is not over yet. We are quite bullish, but Tesla is behind the corner on earnings after the close. Be really careful. Tesla is capable of destroying this bullish sentiment, so manage your risk, be patient, be disciplined, and wait for better opportunities tomorrow with earnings, Thursday earnings, Friday earnings. There will be plenty of those opportunities. So stay safe, everyone, and see you tomorrow.